Carolina family runs deep, and Hubert Davis is tapping into that again, offering the son of a Tar Heel legend.
This is David Noel, and you're listening to Locked On Tar Heels.
You are Locked On Tar Heels, your daily podcast on the UNC Tar Heels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey there, what's up? It's Thursday, February 19th, 2026. Welcome into the Locked On Tar Heels podcast, the only daily North Carolina show out there. I'm your host, Isaac Schade. You're joining me at the place to get your Tar Heels content every single day. It's all part of the Locked On Network, the #1 sports podcast network out there. Thanks for making us your first listen or watch to get your Thursday going the right way. I want to welcome in our everydayers, all the members of the Locked On Tar Heels Discord, and our insiders as well. Hey, this episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Have your cake and drink it too. Birthday cake flavor is back. No fork needed. Vanilla-y cakey flavor, caffeinated kick, and no sugar. It's party time. Order now at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. Coming up on the show today, North Carolina offers Malloy Smith late last week. We'll get caught up with that, what that might mean for the Tar Heels. More on the Henri Veesaar situation. Homeboy is not even practicing right now, so of course he's not going to play. We'll look at that. The NCAA Selection Committee's top 16 reveals coming up on Saturday, and Carolina is not going to be in it. They got to stop this slide, and so that's where we're headed on the show today. Updated net rankings following Carolina's loss to NC State on Tuesday night. Carolina falls from 25th down to 28, so that's where they're sitting right now. All right. Let's get right into some more recruiting news. Obviously, on Tuesday, the big news was the commitment of Dylan Mingo in the class of 2026, joining Maximo Adams, as right now Carolina's two-player 2026 class. Last week, on Thursday, Carolina extended another offer, this one to Malloy Smith. Malloy Smith is a class of 2026, 6'5", 6'6", 190-pound combo guard from California, from Modern Day High School. Produced a whole bunch of athletes have come out of that school. He's a righty, very comfortable getting to his left. The offer came on Thursday, as I said, last Thursday, a week ago today, and he tweeted, quote, "After an amazing conversation with Coach Davis, I'm blessed to say I've received an offer from the University of North Carolina." Had a picture of the Ram's head, had a picture of Seth Trimble doing the night Steph Curry celebration after beating Duke the other day. It was great stuff. Malloy Smith also has offers right now from Cal State Northridge, from Portland State. So not exactly a murderer's row of schools. Carolina's the only, well, not high major because Cal's high major, but like blue blood level status. And here's why. If all that doesn't add up to you, let me explain it. The surname Smith, Malloy Smith, a very common last name, but this is not a common young man. Can you think of any Tar Heels whose name might be Smith? Yes, exactly. Kenny the Jet Smith. Obviously, KJ Smith, his son, played for Carolina previously as well. Malloy Smith is another one of the Jets' sons. So there you go. That's what's happening here. And so this, is essentially a legacy type situation where Carolina obviously would not typically offer somebody of Malloy Smith's rating or ranking, which is not very high, right? He's like at 247 Sports. He's not ranked in the class of 2026. But because he's the Jets' son, you want to make this offer. And it's not like he's a bad basketball player. Hear me not saying that at all. He's just not like Carolina typical level. But he's got some nice positional size. He's a 6'5", 6'6" guard. There could be something there. Heels love big guards, and that's exactly what Malloy Smith is. And look, so if he's somebody that would commit to North Carolina, could come in and at worst be a nice big guard for the main rotation players to have to go up against. At best, he's somebody that could develop into a real player for Carolina. Because of who he is, because of his heritage and pedigree, he's somebody that you think would probably stick around at Carolina for a couple years. And guess what happens when guys stick around and develop? They get better, they matter, and they get into the rotation. There's no reason to think Malloy Smith might not be able to do that. And so despite the like legacy situation of it all, and like, oh, you wouldn't offer him if he wasn't Kenny Smith's son. Maybe not. But let's not rule out the chance that he could come in and actually make a difference. And you think about too, like the idea of sticking around for a while. The Jet like loves Carolina fiercely. You see him all like when Caleb Wilson committed on TNT. I mean, Jet always watching the Duke game. You probably saw the clip, the Carolina win over Duke the other night. You saw the clips of that. Like, this dude loves his alma mater, and he is legacy, he is royalty at North Carolina. And so there's that side of things. And so you can imagine he instilled that love in KJ, which we saw. And you got to imagine the same is true here for Malloy. And again, that's the kind of player Hubert Davis wants, is somebody that wants to be in Chapel Hill, somebody that wants to be at Carolina, wants to be playing there. And Malloy Smith seems to fit that bill. Also, when you think about it, yes, he's going to get house settlement money because that's how it works if he comes to Carolina, but he doesn't need it. He doesn't need NIL money. Hello, who is his dad, right? Like, just, and obviously who knows how they share their money as a family, but you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't need help with scholarship to pay for his college. And so there's a lot to say, like, hey, he could come to Carolina and be there for a while. But you might also be asking me, Isaac, wait, hang on. Why on earth would Hubert Davis waste a scholarship on a non-scholarship level player? Well, this is where I remind you, because we're in the first year of it, that part of the house settlement is that now we have no scholarship limits, but we do have roster limits. And everyone who's on that roster is on scholarship now. And so by offering him a scholarship, it's just like, hey, essentially like probably a preferred walk-on type situation is what we're talking about. Like, we'd love for you to come. We'd love for you to be on this team, but you don't have to go through a tryout and stuff. We are offering you this role and opportunity. So again, hear me say there are no guarantees he's going to come to North Carolina, but you got to think it's a high probability, a high likelihood. And I just think a player like that, who has those experiences, whose dad, whose brother have both played on the Carolina team, he's probably going to want to do that as well. And I would love to have a player like that on your roster. Now, at the same time, keep in mind that I think we think of, I saw a couple articles that had gotten this wrong, whether it was a typo or just forgot and got it wrong and assumed. But KJ didn't start out at Carolina. KJ Smith spent his freshman year at Pacific. I think that was the 16-17 season. Then sat out a year because, hello, remember, that's what you used to have to do. You couldn't just transfer willy-nilly and play immediately like you do today. So transferred from Pacific, sat out a year, and then played 3 years at Carolina. Thankfully, he had the COVID eligibility, and so was able to get a year of eligibility. Because before the transfer portal, that year of sitting out burned one of your years of eligibility. And so that's what KJ did. Started at Pacific, played at Carolina. So even if Malloy Smith decides not to come to Carolina initially, keep that door wide open because he could come running through it at any point. And then you got to consider that the opposite might be true as well. He might come to Carolina and eventually leave and go elsewhere, maybe where he could get more playing time, etc. You just don't know what's on this young man's heart. I'm very excited to see it. I would love for him to come to Carolina. But I also would totally understand if he wanted to go somewhere where he would probably get more playing time. But gosh, come to Carolina, grow, develop, and become part of the Carolina rotation. Like, how cool would that be for Malloy Smith? And you know Kenny would love it. All right. Speaking of Carolina personnel, how about a current one? Henri Veesaar. He has not played each of the last 2 games. And now we're learning, thanks to Inside Carolina's reporting, that he's also not practicing right now. So there's no way he was going to start the other day. We'll look at that and talk about it and unpack it coming up in just a second.
I'm Clea Butler, host of Locked On Women's Basketball, and this is Mazda's Women's Basketball Snapshot, celebrating the work no highlight reel can ever capture. It was a heavyweight showdown between number 3 South Carolina and number 7 LSU, and the Gamecocks rose to the occasion. South Carolina secured a hard-fought 79-72 victory to stay atop the SEC standings, using a balanced offensive attack to outlast the Tigers. Tessa Johnson led the way with 21 points, while Raven Johnson added 19. Medina Oka dominated the paint with a double-double, finishing with 12 points and 17 rebounds, while Joyce Edwards chipped in 10 points to round out the scoring. With the statement win, the Gamecocks now turn their attention to a road matchup at number 23 Alabama on Thursday. These moments are earned off the clock, those long before the lights ever come on. The sweat, the fakes, the doubt, the scrapes, and coming back for more every time. Mazda puts that same drive into every detail. Wins define the moment, putting in the work, that defines you. There's more to a Mazda because there's more to you.
This episode's also brought to you by FanDuel. Have you ever wanted to experience the NBA Finals live and in person? FanDuel is now giving you that chance to turn that dream into a reality with their NBA sweepstakes. Here's how it's going to work. You use your profit boost on any NBA future, and you'll automatically be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for two. That's right. Flights, tickets, the whole experience. If you're already looking at the board and thinking about what team can make a deep run, who might be conference champions, whatever it is, this is the perfect time to lock it in, because it's going to add an extra layer of excitement to every game down the stretch. But now, not only does it add excitement, and not only could your pick cash for you, but also it could send you to the NBA Finals. That's crazy. Really, really cool stuff. When you're looking at some lines, obviously Carolina not able to cover on Tuesday night against NC State. I'm excited for the Syracuse line to come out to see what it might be and how Carolina can cover that. Go check out. There's some really neat Olympics lines, like they've been doing who's going to get the most medals, the most golds, things like that. The women's hockey final is coming up today. Last check, the American women were favored by 1.5 over Canada. Going to be really interesting to see how that goes. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Use your profit boost on an NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right, Henri Veesaar's status has been kind of weird, and I think a lot of it is due to the fact that there's like two different things that he's ailing from. Last week, he had the flu, had some sort of illness, and was down hard from what Coach Davis tells us, but also suffered what is officially deemed a lower body extremity or a lower body issue, whatever you want, that kind of general thing. It's pretty clearly a left Achilles situation. He's had some tape on it, all that kind of stuff. Suffered in the Miami game. The issue with Henry's availability is we haven't much known what was the bigger issue. Was it the flu-like illness type thing, or was it the lower body issue? So thanks to some great reporting by Inside Carolina, we're learning more. So go with me on this. On Monday at the ACC coaches call, Coach Davis made it seem like there was some level of possibility that Henri might have been a go on Tuesday evening. He was officially listed as questionable. And then in the update that's like 2 hours before tip-off was downgraded to out. And what he said on his radio show Monday evening was, quote, he's getting a lot better. Today was a huge jump in his improvement. That was Monday, by the way, again. He had an injury in his lower extremities and then also had the flu, and it was a major jump in both of those today. It's still day-to-day. We'll have to reevaluate Tuesday if he's available for NC State, but I was really encouraged by the improvement in both areas today. So from his comments on the coach's call to Henri being questionable, I think we're all thinking like, okay, we're going to maybe see him out there. And then I think a lot of people were like, when he was downgraded out, it's like, I get that he might not have played, but what happened? Well, here's another comment from Coach Davis that holds a nugget that's a little bit perplexing. Here's what he said, quote, Henry's getting a lot better. Today was a huge jump in his improvement. Nope, that's the same one. I'm so sorry. But basically within it, I don't know why or how I lost that quote. Let me see if I can get back to it really quick. I don't think I can. I apologize for that. But basically in there indicated that Henri has not been practicing at all. And so it's like, wait, that, no, that doesn't seem to add up. Here we go. I thought I had found it again. Yes. Here's that quote. I apologize. I've gotten to it now. His outlook is day to day. Every day he's getting better. In regards to the lower extremities, he's getting better. He's also with his flu. He's making huge strides every day. And every day, here we go, we'll evaluate and see when he's available to practice. Then when he's able to practice, see when he's able to play. And then Inside Carolina went on to confirm with the team spokesman that he has been held out of practice, that he's not been practicing. And so Coach Davis drops that nugget in there, and it's like, hey, whoa. If he's not practicing, and I get that sometimes guys won't practice just because it's like, hey, let's not push it, let's not rush it. We'll have you playing the games, but not practice. But that's not the case here. It's just, how are we to think that Henry's close to playing if he's being held out of practices? And I'm not saying like Coach Davis is being nefarious or trying to hide something. I'm just saying like it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense that the verbiage, the messaging makes it feel like he's pretty close. But as Coach Davis said, before he can play, he's got to practice. And right now he's being held out of practice. So which is it? I'm confused. Is he nearing a return or is he being held out? And which thing is the issue? Is it the illness? Is he better? Is it the lower, the Achilles thing? What's going on? Well, Inside Carolina also was able to report and confirm that Saturday's thing against Pittsburgh, the major issue was the illness. That's what kept him out. But then Tuesday night, it was solely due to the lower body injury. So the good news is it sounds like the flu is gone and Henry's getting caught up, hopefully getting a bunch of fluids and getting his body back in shape, right? Like after you're down with something like that, it always takes a while to get your conditioning back up. So that's something Henry's going to have to be working on before they go to Syracuse on Saturday. But then the fact that, again, he hasn't been practicing, which means he's not going to be ready to play, which right now the issue is the lower body injury. That's concerning to me. Like, you don't play with Achilles stuff, man. That can get you messed up. And so I got to say, this has me discouraged. I was feeling like, because of Coach Davis's tone and messaging, like we were on the cusp or the precipice with Henry. But the fact that he's not practicing has me really worried this could be a longer, more severe issue. And heck, the way Caleb Wilson's out here talking, he might be back on the floor before Henry is at the rate this is going. And so, man, now what I'm very grateful for, I'm going to continue to bang this drum, is that Carolina is more focused on winning the war and not the NC State battle or not the Syracuse battle if Henry doesn't play on Saturday. Because there are bigger fish to fry, which is no disrespect to any immediate opponent. It's just like, hey, we've got our sights set on the NCAA tournament and the ACC tournament, and so we'd rather work getting Henry healthy for that. However, the difficult thing as we get towards the end of the season here is if you wait too long, the war is going to be over, meaning the season will be over. And so this is something to keep tabs on. We're going to continue to look at it and talk about it. And we need Henry to start practicing. It's going to take him a couple practices to get back up to speed. And hopefully that's for Syracuse on Saturday. But then keep in mind, if he's not ready to go for that, it's a quick turnaround to Louisville on Monday night, because it's one of that second Saturday, Monday turnaround for Big Monday. So Saturday at Syracuse and then Monday at home. Ooh, this is tough. Need Henri Veesaar back. There's no way around that. You have to have him in the lineup for this team to succeed at the level they want to. So we'll keep our eyes on it. Now, part of the issue is if they don't have him back and they don't have Caleb Wilson back, they're going to continue to, in all likelihood, lose a couple more games and continue to slide. Well, this Saturday is the selection committee's top 16 reveal. And the bad thing is Carolina's not going to be in it. Where are they sitting? How can they shore that up? We'll talk about that in just a second. Right after I tell you about TurboTax. Tax season doesn't have to take over your life. This year, TurboTax is making it easier than ever to just hand things off and move on with your day. With TurboTax Full Service, you can have your taxes done for you by a trusted local expert start to finish without the stress or guesswork. Instead of spending hours trying to figure out your forms, you can meet with the local TurboTax expert in person or connect with them online. They handle everything for you from W-2s to self-employment forms, and they work to get you every deduction possible. You can upload your documents, just go about your day and get updates right in the TurboTax app. It's a huge time saver, gives real peace of mind knowing an expert is handling it for you. For a limited time, you can have your taxes done by a local TurboTax expert for just $150 all in if a TurboTax expert didn't file for you last year. Just file by February 28th. Take taxes off your plate and get back to life. Visit turbotax.com/local to book your appointment today. This episode is also brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Hey, let me welcome you to the 5 Hour Energy Flavor Draft. We're looking at every aspect of the draft to let you know which tasty flavors are the best and which just might be some sleepers. I got my number one pick for you coming up in just a second. The board is set, the flavors are ready, and only one is going to take the top spot. I really love that 5 Hour Energy shots give you a boost, that caffeine, that energy. Man, I have needed it this week. I've been participating in a conference and convention and helping lead it, and I am drained right now, and I could use a 5 Hour Energy shot in a big way. And I love that it gives you that boost with zero sugar. That's one of the cool things. You ready? The reveal, my number one draft pick, my top flavor, strawberry banana. Man, I'm a sucker for a good strawberry banana. For 5 Hour Energy, man, it's like a tropical delight with strawberry that goes in everything from smoothies and milkshakes to cakes and ice cream. So you got that sweet strawberry flavor up front. You got a little soft banana on the finish on the back end. It's smooth. It's creamy. It reminds you of a fruit smoothie. Like, I love a good strawberry banana smoothie, and it kind of reminds you of that. Easy to drink. Low acidity is not going to mess you up or anything like that. But I also want to give you my sleeper pick, and that's peach mango. You got that ripe peach flavor on the first sip. I'm a Georgia boy. I love a good peach. Mango is going to adds like this tropical flavor. So you got like your peach and your tropics. It's great. Smooth, rounded out fruit profile. Got an aromatic finish. Blended tropical brand. Man, I absolutely love this blend of the peach mango. You should check it out as well. Find your new flavor of 5 Hour Energy shots available online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Coming up on Saturday, the NCAA selection committee is going to reveal their top 16, each of the seeds 1 through 4, as if the tournament started that day. That's what the projection would be. For a while, it had seemed like Carolina would probably be in that. Like, if we rewound 3 games ago before the Miami game, right after Carolina beat Duke, I would imagine they would have been in this thing, probably 14, 15, or 16, like on the back end, but still in it. Now, not close. And that's kind of a tough pill to swallow, but that's where Carolina is at right now. Since that time, they've lost 2 out of 3, losing at Miami. They beat Pitt, but then lost at NC State. And the having done so, Carolina's just starting to slip. I check out Bracket Matrix pretty regularly. What they do is they take all of the bracketology various. Right now, there's 122 different brackets they look at, and they take all of them and kind of put it together with like your average seeding and spot. So right now on Bracket Matrix, Carolina is a 6 seed, specifically the second 6 seed, making them number 22 overall, which is not bad. But you got to imagine Carolina is going to drop again next week after having lost at State on Tuesday. Should they lose at Syracuse on Saturday? Oh, good grief. Please don't lose at Syracuse on Saturday. They'd fall again. And what Carolina has to now figure out how to start doing is, we just talked about Henri. He might be there. Sounds like he's probably not going to be. I doubt, I know Caleb's been talking about coming back, but I mean, that's really cool. We are 9 days removed from his fracture. I mean, it's not ready for that yet. And so where Carolina is at right now, like a 6 seed, is probably about right for where they are. They've got some really nice wins. They've taken some frustrating losses. So it's like this kind of thing where they have enough game inventory where there's room to move up. I don't know that they could push their way back into a 4 seed. Maybe, but I mean, they could definitely get to a 5 seed, but there's 5 regular season games left, at least one ACC tournament game. So there's also plenty of room to move down should Carolina lose. One thing I think that's helpful in terms of like the bracket matrix seating or where Carolina would sit right now is a bunch of the teams that are kind of around them are also losing games right now. Louisville lost on Tuesday night as well to SMU. BYU, unfortunately for them, they just lost Richie Saunders to an ACL, and they've been struggling. You know, the Big 12 is really good. St. Louis has been the best mid-major in the nation, although they just lost on Tuesday night as well. Kentucky, Clemson, these teams Clemson lost on Wednesday night. And so thankfully for Carolina, teams around them are losing. So Carolina's not dropping further to like a 7 or 8 seed yet. But the thing is, they've got these 5 games left and they're going to have to do work. Let's bring the ACC standings into this conversation now, where, you know, it's certainly still mathematically possible for Carolina to get a top 4 seed in a double bye. But in all likelihood, what Carolina needs to do now is, I mean, obviously just focus on winning game after game. But in all likelihood, Carolina is looking at being a single bye team, which would mean they were 5th through 9th seed. It's so dumb. Like the ACC, you know, they had those 15 teams. And then last year when they expanded to 18, still kept the same bracket where you've got 16 teams. Just put them all in the field and let's play it that way or whatever. And I know you don't want, they're trying to give the single bye and the double bye. That's fine. But there are ways to do it. Anyway, I don't understand why the 9 seed gets a single bye as well. But I think Carolina, that's kind of what they're looking at right now. Because as a reminder, Duke is 1 at 13-1. Carolina right now holds the tiebreaker over them, although they'll play again. Number 2 right now is Virginia. Carolina holds the tiebreaker over them. The problem is Tar Heels are 3 games back of them in the loss column. Then Miami is 3rd at 10-3. They hold the tiebreaker over Carolina. Then tied for 4th is NC State and Clemson at 10-4. State obviously holds the tiebreaker over Carolina. Carolina still has to play Clemson. Tied for 6th, Carolina and Louisville. And just behind Carolina and Louisville is SMU. And SMU holds that tiebreaker as well. So what needs to happen to get, I mean, obviously you just want to focus on winning basketball games. I know the team's not going to focus on, oh boy, we got to get a double bye. No, they're not going to worry about that, but I'm going to. So to get even a shot at getting back to double bye, to get a shot going back to the NCAA tournament stuff of continuing to at least hold on to like a 6 seed and maybe move your way back up to like a 5 seed, maybe a 4 seed. But you got to ball out. And with these 2 guys out and hurt, that seems like a bridge too far. So Carolina there's 2 games they cannot lose. And that is at Syracuse Saturday and then at home to Virginia Tech. They've got a massive opportunity next Monday at home against Louisville on ESPN's Big Monday, where Carolina has not lost yet this season. They're undefeated at home. Would be great to get that win, get the tiebreaker over Louisville. And as a reminder, Carolina and Louisville are tied right now. So there's that. And then the other massive opportunity is Clemson coming to Chapel Hill. Again, haven't lost at home. And you know all the history with Clemson in Chapel Hill. Carolina back of Clemson, although they lost again on Wednesday night. And this is the only matchup. So both Louisville and Clemson, you got a chance to get that tiebreaker against them. And so if you could go in these final 5 games, if you could go 4-1, let's say you lose at Duke, which that's not ideal, but say you win the other 4 and you lose at Duke. You've kept yourself in great NCAA tournament positioning. And you've probably at worst at that point, you would be 4 or 5 in the ACC standings, depending on what everybody else does, right? So Carolina's in kind of a weird spot right now. It's tough because they've had some good wins, but things aren't set in stone and they're missing their 2 leading scorers. Oh, man. So for Carolina right now, it's just the focus, Go beat Syracuse Saturday. That's all you can focus on right now. On tomorrow's show, we'll have our preview for the Syracuse game. We'll get the weekend whip around going for you as well. Should be a lot of fun there. I appreciate you being here with me on a Thursday. It's always a great day to be a Tar Heel. If you haven't subscribed to the show, video and audio, do it now. If you haven't joined the Everydayers Club we talked about earlier, do that. If you haven't joined the Locked On Tar Heels Discord, we'd love to see you in there as well. Those links are in the show notes. We will be back with you, as I said, tomorrow. Then Saturday, we will do a live postcast after Carolina plays Syracuse. That's 1 Eastern time. Also, going to do a little more in-depth on Dylan Mingo on Friday. I might do that live, in fact. I haven't decided yet, but I've got one of the guys from No Ceilings coming to join me, and so that'll be great as well. All right, you guys, always a great day to be a Tar Heel. We'll talk again tomorrow, but until then, peace.